The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Could Breece Hall be traded? One Jet reporter thinks it's a strong possibility. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Wednesday, show number 2 on the day. Before we get started, make sure you click the like button and you are a subscriber to this very channel. If you're a Jet fan and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We talk Jets twice a day, each and every day, all year round. And come out to our draft party. We still have tickets available, but not for much longer. Secure your spot. Clinton Hall, New York City, April 24th. That's soon, people. Your ticket includes a complimentary drink and an entry into our raffle that night where we're giving away a bunch of epic prizes like signed jerseys by Joe Klecko and Nick Mangold and Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, and a whole lot more. Plus, tickets to future Jet home games. Get your ticket. Click the link in the description. Put your name, your email, and it's super easy to get your ticket locked in. Let's say hello to a friend of the show, but he hasn't been on in a while. We were talking about that off air before we got started. He is a big-time fan of the Jets. He covers the NFL and the Jets specifically for the Jet Press. Mike Mitchell joins us right now. What's up, Mike?
I'm doing well, Jake. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you also are a regular viewer of the show. I've seen your comments in there every once in a while. I'm sure you've been following ASMANIAC Madness, so I definitely got to get your thoughts on that because we got a great one in the Sweet 16 coming up. It is Peter Castro, the 4 seed, We the People, the 8 seed. Voting for that will get underway in just a bit. But what have been your impressions on the greatest tournament in sports, ASMANIAC Madness?
You know, Jake, I've been following your career for a long time now, and you're one of the best Jet, if not the best, Jets content producer out there. And so when I started catching on to your show and watching it, I wasn't really into, like, I guess this whack pack element that you got going on with a lot of the different and unique Jets callers out there. But then I got hooked. It's gotten to the point where I check out your show, and I'm more interested because obviously we haven't had a lot of groundbreaking Jets news. Interested in what's going on in the tournament, all the different characters and all the cool fans, the OGs, the Peter Castros, the Brigas, all those guys you got out there on the show. I feel bad for Gorman after what transpired yesterday. So I found myself, really enjoying that aspect. I love the way you embrace the fans and make them a part of your show, and they've become like sometimes more interesting than what's going on with the team. So, Briga, I was rooting heavily for Briga. And I kind of like JJ. I know he's a polarizing guy, but he's got a unique personality. Although his diss track he could use a little more pen work there, as far as that goes. There's some unique guys. Mikey Midnight, sentimental favorite. A lot of these fans, like the Peter Castros, these guys out there, they're longtime Jet fans. They remind me a lot of Joe Beningo, who I grew up listening to, the WFAN listening to for years. So yeah, it's a fun aspect that you got going there, Jake. And I appreciate the passion from all the fans.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Mike. So thrilled to have you on the show. I mean, let's talk about something you and I were discussing off air. We go back and forth talking about the team. You mentioned to me Breece Hall's future after I did a video yesterday talking more about what Aaron Glenn said when asked about Breece Hall. He chose to basically not make it about Breece, but direct it to the other 2 running backs and say he can't wait for all 3 of those guys to be a part of the offense. You sent me a message that you think that it was good that I mentioned that because you believe there's a strong possibility the New York Jets could trade Breece Hall around the draft.
I guess the question I'm trying to ask you is, break down why you think Breece Hall going into the last year of his contract could be someone that the Jets, this new regime, looks to move.
Yeah, there's a lot of different elements to this. As you know, Jay, kind of like a peek behind the curtain. I interact with a lot of coaches, executives, people like that. So you kind of like I've let you a little peek behind, a little being in contact with people, kind of finding out what free agents and players have interest in the Jets, what executives and coaches are thinking. So that leads me into an article I'm working on at thejetpress.com about the very real possibility that the Denver Broncos could trade for Breece Hall, that their team that's looking. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, they let Javonte Williams walk in free agency. They had one of the middling backfields in the NFL last year. I think they averaged 4.2 yards per carry. They only had four runs over 20 yards last season. Sean Payton has openly said that he's looking to add a superstar back, a joker back who can be a threat on the ground and in the air. And then there's the natural connections, which I've been reaching out on both sides of the aisle here, both Denver and the Jets, to try to find out if there have been any talks. I think the Jets are willing to field offers. I think you hit on something very strongly with Aaron Glenn's comments, and I think other people are starting to pick up on that, people who cover the Jets, that Aaron Glenn didn't quite endorse Breece Hall as the centerpiece figure of the Jets offense. And I mean, when you look at it, he's last year of his contract. He's got a history with injuries, even though he's still only 23. I think he's going to be 24 in May, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Jets have two young, cheaper alternatives. It's a cost-effective move. Jets fans are going to be hurt if he's traded and the Jets don't get what we would perceive as a fair asking price for him, because you would think that you would get a second-round pick for him, but the likelihood, because of his history with injuries and because of him being in the final year of his contract, that the Jets, and I spoke to somebody close to who covers the Denver Broncos, and they feel that the Broncos would love to have Breece Hall as their feature back, but they're looking to add more than one back in this process, so they might draft one as well. So I don't know. Jets fans will be too happy if Breece Hall is dealt for a 3rd or 4th round pick or something like that. That might not entice us or make us too happy as fans. But the Jets are looking at it. Are they going to re-up Breece Hall when he's a free agent? He's likely to command $10 million or more on average, maybe $7 to $10 million. You can let him walk in free agency and get a compensatory pick in 2027. But do you want to wait that long, or do you want to speed up the process and make the move now? I would love to see Breece Hall be a part of the Jets offense, which looks like it's going to be run heavy with Justin Fields as a centerpiece. And I want to see Breece Hall with an actual run game coordination that's not of the level of Keith Carter's, who was the worst assistant coach in the entire National Football League, as far as I'm concerned, the last 2 years. One of the reasons Saleh had a downfall was that he kept Keith Carter. So that's kind of the story there. So I'm just being in contact with both sides. I know Denver has interest. It's going to come down to the asking price. The Jets can't gift wrap him. We have connections between the Broncos and the Jets because obviously Darren Muji's former assistant GM with the Denver Broncos. You got Rick Spielman, who George Patton worked under. And then you have George's brother working as the right-hand man for Darren Muji. Then you have the natural connection between Aaron Glenn and Sean Payton. Aaron Glenn, got his coaching chops working under Sean Payton with Dan Campbell under that staff with the Saints. So there's a lot of natural connections there. The Jets can't just gift wrap Breece Hall, as I mentioned. There may be other teams that could be interested, that could be leveraged. But I think Denver, if they don't trade up in the draft and, Genti and a few other different names are being bandied about as 1st-round picks, I think Breece Hall's a certain possibility, a strong possibility for Denver. It's just going to come down to the asking price.
Well, to me, I would not trade Breece Hall unless I'm getting an offer that makes, complete sense. Right now, this team doesn't have weapons on the outside. Breece, you could argue, is probably their second-best pass catcher on the team right now. I don't think he's ever been utilized properly to this point. I always use the comparison how McCaffrey is used by the Niners. I could see Breece being used in that way, but to this point, he hasn't. I'm not trying to trade him. I want to see what this looks like with Breece being a part of this run-oriented offense. So I'm only considering moving Breece Hall if I'm getting at least a 2nd-round pick. I don't want a 3rd-round pick for Breece Hall. Breece Hall is really good. He's going into a contract year. I think he's going to be highly motivated to ball out. And I'm not trying to get rid of him. I think it'd be a huge mistake if the Jets get rid of Breece Hall. I want to see it through. So I think this would be, unless, it's too good of an offer to pass up, which is unlikely because I'd want a 1. You're not going to get that. I don't even know if you get a 2. I'd keep him. I think this would be a mistake if that's something that they're considering.
Yeah, if we were valuing the Jets, I mean, Breece Hall's a top 5 player on the roster, and for us, we've seen him at his peak, so we know that his value is that of a first round pick. The problem is it doesn't work that way on the market. You look at a guy last year of his contract; he's coming off an inconsistent 2024. I know it's not his fault, right? He was injured. I went through Keith Carter, all that other madness. Jets horrible coaching last season. But I think that hurts his trade value too, his history with injuries, him being the last year of his deal, the money he would command. I'm with you, Jake. I would retain him, but I'll tell you, there's interest on the Denver side, and the Jets are not completely sold on retaining Hall moving forward. So if they're planning on, going in a different direction, investing in a younger back, even though Breece is pretty young still, our trade is probably more likely now than letting him walk. Like I said, I'm with you, Jake. I would retain him, and I want to see him in this offense, how he performs. And I understand they have in Davis and otherwise and the depth in that backfield, but I still think Hall's the best player. And like you said, the second best offensive player they have.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Manny writes in, I can't see a trade happening. We need better than someone's third for Breece, especially Denver, because their 3rd round pick is in the latter half of the round. So it's closer to a 4th round pick anyway, because they made the playoffs. So I'm with you, Manny. Also, shout out to Manny. He joined the Patreon earlier today. So Manny, thank you. Also want to give love to Bijan Barbarossa. They're our most recent Patreon subscribers. We're doing another ASMANIAC raffle. It features a signed Joe Namath helmet, old school Joe Willie helmet, signed Don Maynard helmet, signed Coach Weave Eubank helmet, and we added it earlier today, signed Don Maynard photo. The photo comes with the frame included if you win. So that is added to the prize, plus a replica Joe Namath Super Bowl III ring for our Super Bowl III themed raffle. Michael Duramo is the first to gift a membership this show. He is in the ASMANIAC raffle for 5, so everyone give some love to Michael for paying it forward. Mike the Turtle, Joey R, Why the Jet Fan, Cypress MG, all receiving memberships there from Michael Duramo. So thank you very much to Michael. If you want a channel membership, here's what you need to do. Be a subscriber to the channel, like the video, engage a lot in the comments, make sure that you have the setting turned on that you can receive a gifted membership. Hennessy writes in, keep Breece and tag him next year, 2nd minimum. Yeah, like that to me is the other part of this too, Mike. Like, let's say Breece goes out there and has a great year. All of a sudden, if they're moving on from Justin Fields or, whatever the case may be, they feel like they need to get better at quarterback. Well, if you're going to go in the draft for your quarterback, I'd imagine you want to give that quarterback a running game. And like if Breece goes out there and plays great, of course you'd want to keep him. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense. He's so young still. You brought it up. He's not even he's 23 years old right now. Like, to me, Breece is the guy you keep and you see what he could do with real coaching for a year.
I would keep him too. A lot of these teams, they devalue. We saw what happened to the Giants. They kind of devalue the running back position, take for granted. We saw what happened with Saquon Barkley, take for granted the player. I bet you the Giants, if they had to do it over, at least if they didn't re-sign Barkley, they would have tagged him and then traded him somewhere else to make sure he doesn't go to the Eagles and win a championship there. But it's too late for that, obviously. I just think him being the last year of the deal, how Muji prioritizes the position, whether he thinks he can get a younger, cheaper alternative and operate with that backfield. From what I've heard close to the Jets, that they're willing to field offers. Now, I don't know whether Dallas or Denver or Pittsburgh or any of these teams will bid against each other, and maybe you can get a 2nd round pick for it, which I think that's what Breece is worth. More than that, I believe, to the Jets. But what I think and what we think versus what they think. I mean, you have a new regime here that's inherited a lot of players from the previous regime. So there's not, even though you've seen Aaron Glenn compliment guys like AVT and other players like that, and they re-signed Jamie Sherwood, it's not a lock that the new coaching staff, new offensive coaching staff is going to be married to every player that's on offense. And, Breece's deal's coming up. The Jets are going to have to, post-draft, Garrett Wilson's going to get a big deal. Sauce Gardner's going to get a big deal, you would think, right? Both those guys are in line for huge pay raises. So it's also prioritizing where the money goes. And whether or not this new Jets regime wants to pay Breece, I hope Breece has a breakout year, best season of his career under this new regime and this coaching staff, and then he's worthy of 10 million plus next year, and they just up him and they just give him a new deal and go with it. But there's going to be talks, and if I'm a team like Denver, who's not that far away, they were surprise playoff team last year. If you get a Breece Hall, healthy Breece Hall, and a Sean Payton offense, that's great for them. Not so much great for the Jets, but great for Denver if they can pull that off. I'm sure they'd love to steal him and lowball the Jets to see if they can pull it off.
Danger Zone writes in, question, would you prefer shopping him during the draft or after 4 to 6 weeks of playing in a new scheme? I don't want to shop him at all. If I were to shop him, though, I'd want to do it before the draft so I can get a pick that hopefully can help me for this year's team. Like, I wouldn't want to do it during the season next year. Like, I hopefully Breece Hall goes out there and if they elect to keep him, which I still think ultimately they will, but like to me, he could be the best player on the offense this upcoming year. If they're going to be a run-oriented team, Breece Hall might be the best weapon that this team has. He could be more important than Garrett Wilson, depending on what type of offense they're going to run.
For sure. He looked better down the stretch last season, even though the Jets were not very committed to run. But, he wasn't as explosive. Breece Hall wasn't as explosive as he was in years past. I think his longest run last season was 42 yards. So that big playability wasn't there. He made some big plays that Sunday night game against the Steelers. He's obviously a very good back, very talented, but there are some question marks about whether or not he can recapture that form he showed a little bit earlier, and whether or not injuries will catch up to him. We've seen he's young, Breece, but we've seen with a lot of running backs over time, the wear and tear catches up to him, and they're not quite the same players that they were in the early portion of their career. I hope that's not the case with Breece Hall. I'm a big fan of his. I want to see him at his peak again. It wasn't a great year for him last year. It wasn't his fault, obviously. So this is a big year upcoming for him, whether he's in green and white or not. Hopefully he is in green and white.
Super chat here, an Asmaniac super chat from Wrong Verb. All we are saying is give Breece a chance. Yeah, I think most Jet fans just want to see what it's like with a different regime, a coaching staff that is seemingly all about running the ball. Like, you can't sell me on being a better team without Breece Hall. Like, you have to replace Breece Hall. We don't know what Braylon Allen is. We don't know what Isaiah Davis is. They flashed as rookies. They made some plays. It was cool to see, but we've seen Breece Hall be second in the NFL in yards from scrimmage in a season, coming off an ACL injury. Like, that happened 2 years ago. Like, I think we all agree he wasn't as good in 2024 as we thought he'd be. He wasn't as good in 2024 as he was in 2023, but I don't put that all on Breece. I think with Aaron Glenn coming in, Breece Hall is poised to have a big season, and I want to see that through.
So do I. You got to wonder with this new regime, though, with a lot of their offseason moves, how much they're prioritizing cost control and draft capital. They've put themselves in a situation where they're heading to the draft looking to get starters, and it looked like the free agency was used for depth pieces. I don't think anybody thinks a Okorafor is an answer at right tackle. A lot of stopgap options the Jets picked up. So it seems like a reversal where the Jets are prioritizing the draft and draft capital itself. So that lends me to believe that they could trade down and that they could move certain assets for draft picks. Hopefully it's not Breece Hall, but if you look at the Jets roster, there aren't very many candidates on their roster that are enticing trade bait for other teams. And Breece would be one of them, because I don't think the Jets are going to move Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner. I think a lot of people would give the Jets fandom if that happened.
Well, you know who the other player I thought that could have got moved? Quincy Williams, because they just paid Sherwood. Quincy's 29 last year of his deal as well. I thought he was someone that maybe could be moved, but based on Glenn's comments, I don't know if Quincy's is going to be moved. I haven't heard anything in that regard either. I don't know if you have.
No, I haven't either. And you would think that they, since Quinnen's in house, they'd want to keep Quinnen happy. They brought in Justin Fields to keep Garrett Wilson happy, even though I think it was overblown the media's take on Garrett Wilson's frustration, which he debunked a lot of those stories that were out there. He talked about the media trying to divide the locker room, stories of Garrett Wilson's issues with Aaron Rodgers. Nevertheless, You would think the Jets would like to hang on to Quincy because of Quinnen, but any players that are in have expiring contract situations that are looking for new deals, it's fair game that they could potentially be traded.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We are hanging out with Mike Mitchell. He's a longtime pro football writer, writes about the Jets, grew up a Jet fan, writes about the Jets for the Jet Press, where you can read all his work. His story on Breece Hall and the Denver Broncos being a team interested in Breece will be out at some point soon. So Mike will definitely share that on his social account. So follow him at by Mike Mitchell. Jet Jaro with a super chat. Truth is, we need to see everyone this year with this new regime and Engstrand as the OC. It will answer a lot of questions. I've talked about this a lot on the show, Mike. Other than Aaron Glenn, no coach has more on their plate and is more important for the possible success of the 2025 Jets than the first-year offensive coordinator who's never called plays at the NFL level, Tanner Engstrand.
I have experience with Tanner Engstrand too. I've communicated with him in the past, and he was an offensive coordinator in the XFL. It's like one of the many different pro football leagues that I cover online, the CFL, etc. And Tanner Engstrand was the offensive coordinator for the DC Defenders under Pep Hamilton. Obviously, he and Pep Hamilton have ties to Jim Harbaugh, the West Coast offense, and I think when we're talking about Tanner Engstrand, one of the things that, I know people don't want to bring this up, maybe this is not a great thing for the Jets, but one of the things that noticing his work in the XFL and back in 2020 is he operated with mobile quarterbacks, Tyree Jackson, Cardell Jones, and had a lot of RPO concepts, a lot of deception, some of the stuff that I saw in Detroit with the Lions. So I'm not surprised that they signed Justin Fields. I think the signing of Justin Fields and the specific targeting of him, as well as like Marcus Mariota, who seemed like a fallback, was because the Jets, they're not going to quite run the same system that was in Detroit with Ben Johnson in terms of an offense that's styled or designed for a pocket passer like Jared Goff, was very little mobility whatsoever. So I think Tanner Engstrand is definitely going to bring some of what he's learned under Jim Harbaugh and Pep Hamilton, obviously Ben Johnson. But it's going to be a little bit of a different offense than we saw in Detroit. Obviously, a heavy emphasis on the run, but you're going to see a lot of plays that are designed for the quarterback to make plays with his arms and his legs, get him on the move in the pocket. Traditional West Coast offense with Steve Young moving him outside the pocket to throw on the run, John Elway, that kind of thing. So there's some elements of this offense that it's one of the most intriguing mysteries when it comes to the Jets in 2025. Is the style of offense they run. And I think they kind of tipped their hat a little bit. And I think when we get to the draft, if the Jets do in fact draft a quarterback, which I think they will at some point, I think the style of quarterback, I think, will be interesting to see if they draft a Milroe or someone who has that type of mobility that matches the offense they're going to run with Justin Fields, somebody that can seamlessly transition into that role. So Tanner Engstrand is a very bright young coach, and he's getting a big opportunity. Sink or swim for the Jets. I mean, I think a lot of pressure on him because Aaron Glenn, I mean, we look at the defensive coaches around the league or the coaches with defensive backgrounds. Dan Quinn's best success in Washington and Atlanta came because he had Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta, and then obviously Cliff Kingsbury did a tremendous job. It helps that they drafted Jaden as a superstar. But the offensive coordinator is the biggest key to Aaron Glenn's success. If the Jets are not good at that position, they're not going to be good, period.
So, Mike, here's what I need you to do. Restart your StreamYard because you froze. But I will say StreamYard did pretty good by you. Your picture there was not bad. We could hear you, but we couldn't see you. It was just a still image of yourself. So while you're refreshing your browser, you come back into StreamYard. We'll get you back on the show. What I'm going to do right now is set the stage for ASMANIAC Madness because we have a great one as our Sweet 16 continues here in the greatest tournament of all time. Peter Castro, the 4 seed. We the people, the 8 seed, going at it for a spot in the regional final. Here's where things stand. Earlier today, it was a wild one, folks. We wrapped up play inside the Chicken Soup region. It is the big fella who defeated Charles Gorman, the number 1 overall seed yesterday, and King Lowski, who cruised to a victory over the highest seed remaining, Dave Briga, 15 seed. So Briga's Cinderella run is over. That sets the stage now to the Hood region, where we have We the People, who's already defeated 1 seed. Can he knock out Peter Castro, a 4 seed? That is the matchup. You guys know the rules. You decide who advances by voting in the poll. The poll will be live when Jim Nantz tells us so. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hand things over to the voice of ASMANIAC Madness. Here is Jim Nantz.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Vote, vote, vote. Either Castro or Weed the People. Winner moves on to the regional final inside the Hood region. Let's say hello once again to Mike Mitchell, who hopefully we could see in addition to being able to hear. Hello, Mike.
Am I frozen in time?
You're good, Mike.
Can you hear me?
You can see the internet's a little bit of a delay, so I'll make sure that I lay out so you could fully hear any question I ask you. But I do want to get some quick takes here from you. Your thoughts right now, number 7 pick in the draft. Who do you believe the New York Jets are ultimately going to select?
I think they're going to take Membu. I would take Tyler Warren. Since early last college football season, I fell in love watching Tyler Warren play, and I was reaching out to people involved with Penn State, close to Penn State, cover them, and talking about how much I wanted the Jets to draft him. All the while thinking that Aaron Rodgers would still be our quarterback with Devontae Adams, envisioning a world where Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Tyler Warren were in the same offense. I still want Tyler Warren on the Jets. I love his play style. I think he's the kind of guy who will be a fan favorite. He'd be a great help to Justin Fields. So that's somebody I would draft. And then I was happy to see the Daniel Jeremiah's and even the fan base come around to the possibility of drafting a tight end in the top 7, because I was on board with the idea as soon as the season ended, and I'm glad everybody's come around to it. I'm fearful of the Jets not taking him. So he's the player I think that could be a galvanizer in the locker room, eventually be a team captain, high character, former quarterback. He's going to be the best. He's going to be the best friend of the quarterback and the running backs in the Jets locker room, because his willingness to block. I mean, that's the difference in the NFL between like 10-yard runs and 20-yard runs, is how your outside guys block, how your tight ends block, how your wide receivers block. Once they get past that first level. So I would love to see Warren as a New York Jet. I think they're going to go Membu. Their offensive moves kind of tell me, a core of 4 and some of these other guys they have a right tackle. It sounds like they don't want to move AVT outside. I think they're going to solidify the line, which I'm fine with. I'm one of the guys who wanted Brock Bowers last year, but Olu Fashanu was a good move. I think they're also going to draft Membu, because Jets fans don't want to hear this either, but it sounds like Olo's going to be healthy for next season, but for his first season in the league, he already had some injury issues. So you want to strengthen your offensive tackle position just in case you have more injuries in the future. Right now, the depth doesn't look so bad in the interior, but the outside part, not so much.
If they go, let's say, with Membu at 7, give me a guy in round 2 and round 3 that you think would fit that approach to the draft.
You mean in terms of like offensive weapon, or?
Yeah, however you see the board breaking. I know you're
I'm a huge fan of Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. I would like to see the Jets draft a big physical target at receiver, somebody who can complement Garrett Wilson. It's almost like the Jets need 2 receivers. They almost need a complement on the outside and on the inside. So they need, slot players would be important. Somebody slot who can play the slot, a speed receiver on the inside. I mean, the big story with the draft right now is Beck and the unfortunate tragedy that he had, with the issue in New Orleans, a massacre there. So, I mean, but the Jets need Jaden Higgins is a guy that I really like. If the Jets pass on a pass catcher, at the 7th spot, they don't trade down and draft a Ted McMillan or someone like that, I think the Jets desperately need to add more weaponry to their offense. Somebody who can help Justin Fields out there. So I think Membu and somebody like a Jaden Higgins, I think to me is somebody with like a lot of upside, who's peaking at the right time, has the physical tools, is a freak. And so catch radius guy, can get contested catches. The Jets need that type of player to complement Garrett Wilson.
Give me your thoughts on the possibility of taking like a Mason Graham at 7 if he's there. Because we've talked a lot about Membu. We've talked a lot about Warren. I think Graham's a guy who in certain mocks he maybe could fall to number 7. And I wonder what they would do then if they have a chance at taking either the top tackle or the top defensive lineman if push comes to shove.
I think Mason Graham is one of the cleanest prospects in the NFL draft. I think he's a surefire going to be a good player in the NFL. He's elite against the run. My issue with someone like Mason Graham, and I understand it's not all about sack totals in the NFL. There's win rates and all that other stuff, but he has only 9 sacks at Michigan in his career. I don't think he's a double-digit sack guy. If you're taking, in my opinion, if you're taking an interior defensive lineman in the top 10, it's got to be somebody that impacts the game greatly. And while Mason Graham will do so against the run, and he can get pressure on the quarterback, no question, I don't think he's like the Quinnen Williams type player. Obviously not Aaron Donald, who's immortal. But so I would be fine with that type of selection by the Jets. I think it's very safe. I think it solidifies the interior of their defensive line. It'll improve their run defense. So I don't have a huge problem with it. I just don't think he's the type of impact player on every down that say a Tyler Warren is, or somebody, or even a Membu, who obviously would be a big help to the Jets offensive line, run game and pass game.
You mentioned earlier in this conversation, Mike, you think the Jets at some point will draft a quarterback. The earliest they could do it, in your opinion, is where? And then give me some guys that, if they were to go down the quarterback route, you would be intrigued with.
Okay, so it's not just because I'm a Jets fan, but McCord, Kyle McCord out of Syracuse is somebody that would really like. I like Will Howard from Ohio State. I think the Jets, the way their offense is constructed, is going to be under Engstrand. I think Jalen Milroe is definitely a possibility. I think the earliest they can go, they could sneak back in. I'm not a huge Jackson Dart guy. I'm not a fan. Maybe it's because he reminds me too much of Zach Wilson. I do know that, one of the things I like about him, he's got his game's all right. But one of the things I like about him is he's a huge Anakin Skywalker geek. So he's like a huge fan. He does his eye makeup is a tribute to Anakin Skywalker and all that. So I'm a fan of that aspect of it. But I don't think he's that special of a talent or a quarterback. I think, he's not someone I would go out of my way. I know there's a lot of people very high on him right now. I don't think he's a first round quarterback. For maybe in the second round, I'd consider him if the Jets might fall in love with him. It's well documented. Rick Spielman's been very complimentary of him. So of Jackson Dart during the draft process. So those are some of the guys. Howard, Riley Leonard's okay. McCord, I think, is very talented. He really stepped up last year. He has a lot of very good tools. And I think Milroe kind of fits. If you're going to have a guy behind Justin Fields learning, Milroe's a freak. That 4.3 speed. He can be a Justin Fields-like player. His game's very raw, but, sitting behind Tyrod Taylor, veteran in Taylor, and of course Fields would be helpful for someone like him. So if he has untapped potential to be great. Not a fan of Shedeur Sanders. I think he's gotten to the point where he's a little bit underrated, but I wouldn't take him in the first round. I don't know if the Jets, it doesn't sound like it, are very high on Shedeur Sanders, but who knows? Could be a smokescreen. But he's not my preferred choice, and the Jets are obviously not getting Ward. So, but later in the draft, those are some of the names that I think could be targets that I would like to see the Jets draft.
Mike, this was a ton of fun, man. Where can people find you once again?
By Mike Mitchell, BYMIKEMITCHELL. Thank you so much, Jake, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Mitchell checking in. He does a really good job covering not just the Jets, but the entire league. And if you're into the UFL and the XFL and these other leagues, I've followed Mike for years. He's all over that. So he's the guy that if the Jets sign one of these kickers, he's the guy we will check back in with once again. Appreciate Mike coming on, battling through some internet issues as well there. We made it happen. Don't worry. How about we do a scoreboard report in ASMANIAC Madness right now? We had a blowout on the first show today, which I was surprised, but I shouldn't doubt our king Lowski, dominating one-punch Briga, ending that Cinderella run. And right now, an OG, Peter Castro, is up all over Weed the People. 63-37. Castro leading Weed with over 225 votes that have been cast so far. But it ain't over yet. So vote for your chance to send one of these two Asmaniacs to the Elite Eight. Tyrone with a super chat. Rodgers, Devontae, and if they get rid of Hall for a pick, then both these guys, Muji and Glenn, are not that smart, but we can only watch and see. I'm with you, Tyrone. I mean, if they get rid of Breece Hall for what? Mid-round pick? No thanks. Keep him. Keep him. Build your offense around running the ball. So you get rid of your best running back? Give me a break. I like Braylon Allen. I think he's good. I like Isaiah Davis. But I'm not getting rid of Breece Hall for a mid-round pick. Come on. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid. All right. If you're just joining us, hit the like button. We're seeking more channel memberships for our raffle. Sign Joe Namath helmet. Sign Don Maynard helmet. Sign Weeb Eubank helmet. Sign, just added today, Don Maynard autograph photo. Includes the frame if you win it and a replica Super Bowl III championship ring. All right, let's get to some calls coming up here on the Gus Buster hotline. Why don't we check in with one of the stars of this very program? In fact, he has a brand new hairdo that he is rocking. A hairdo that has inspired our latest Asmaniac channel member emoji. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Gotti is on the line.
I look better without the hat. And that one, that was
Look
hilarious.
at you, Bobby
Yeah,
Gotti.
Yeah, but what was that guy that Nick said this morning? The Japanese guy, South Korean guy, whatever his name is.
No, he said you looked like the dictator of North Korea.
North Korea, that guy. Yeah, he killed his own brother, sicko. Yeah, I rather have John Gotti. I look like. And then somebody said I looked like a lesbian. What? Who?
You look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Somebody said I look like a lesbian. Somebody next door neighbor.
You look like Bonesy's lesbian neighbor.
Thanks a lot, Bonesy. God, I give you all the credit, you sexy man with the nose.
Is it true they're calling you Kim Jong Bomb?
Who's that? Craig Wilton. Who's that? Kim Jong. Oh, is that the guy?
That's the dictator of North Korea, Bobby.
Oh yeah, that's the one who killed his brother. Yeah, that's what Nick calls me. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought. Well, then I don't think I ever talked to that new guy. He sounds interesting. But it's unexpected. I know. It was weird. He was talking, but his face was frozen.
Yes.
That's amazing to do that. I don't know how he did it. Magic, maybe.
Rick Kent's stinky fart says you look like his grandma.
I know. I'm an old man, old lady. Ooh, with my cane, walking to you.
Mr. Bobby Gotti, thank you for the time.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Incredible. All right. From Bobby Gotti to, well, a hero. That's right. An absolute hero. Many of you have been following the Charles Gorman saga over the last 24 hours. And this guy stepped up to the plate, the likes of which we've never seen before. Purple Belt Mike is up next. Hello, Mike.
Yo, what's up?
How are you, Mike?
I'm good, man. Not a hero, man. Just doing my job.
What has it been like to help Charles Gorman and his family through him being catfished live on this show yesterday in real time?
He's not the only one. There's some misconceptions in the chat. So I just want to talk about it for a second. It's not so much the amount of money, right? Because people can get swindled out $20 million, like all that stuff. There's a lot of money, but it's not necessarily the $700. It's two things. The first thing being when you give up your information, as in banking information, Social Security, all of that, people can open up loans and hurt your credit and damage you that way. And that is way more than just the $700 that was lost. So it's very, very important that you don't fall for schemes like this. because it's not necessarily the little bit of money with it $700 here or $100 here. It's what do they have access to and where can they escalate, because they elevate and pivot off of that. And the more and more you give, the more and more that they have against you, and they're only going to do it for nefarious purposes. So some people I saw in the chat, and it's not anyone's fault, but it's really not just $700. It's the fact that the access has been given and your identity is gone. And that's
Real
the problem.
quick, for those who don't know what Mike's referring to, watch my second show from yesterday. It's in the timestamps. We talked about it at the top of the first show today. So I think most of the audience knows what happened with Charles, but if you don't, go back and watch yesterday's show, and then you'll see what happened.
And if you don't know, he fell for a romance scam, a catfishing thing, and it could happen to anybody. It is what it is. But some things to watch out for: if a username doesn't have a picture, that's a red flag. We call them red flags. So if a username doesn't have a picture, if their name is Mike and then a bunch of numbers, no one does that. So that's another flag. If they're talking to you but they don't show their face, that's another thing. And just because someone's talking to you and they show their face, you see it with Gator. Technology is very far advanced where I can be talking, but I can sound like a female and I could have hair and look like a girl just from a certain app because it's out there. So you can't really go by that as much, but most of these scammers don't do that sophisticated. It's just, let me message you and see what happens. But you can get the other way. So you have to be cognizant of all those things. And someone that you meet, like my wife, she doesn't have my social security card. She doesn't have it. She doesn't need it. She knows where it is if she ever needed it, but why would she need that? She doesn't have it. So if someone, and the reason why I say that is because if someone's asking you in a conversation where they're little by little talking about, I love you, I want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 hours later, they talk about, hey, can I have your bank account? Can I have your social security? Can I have your driver's license? No one ever is going to want that and need that. And that is also red flags. Outside of catfishing, real quick, touching links. So if you get an email, an attachment, and you open it, that's another vector of getting victimized. So by clicking a link, you might think it's your fake bank account, you put in your info, and then you're screwed. So make sure if you're looking at links, you verify that they're from the right sender. And for instance, like if you bank with Capital One, it might be capital and then instead of an O, it's a zero. Little stuff like that. Like you have to read the domain, the URL, so you know exactly what you're clicking, because it's very easy just to click a link and think that you're going to the right website, but you're really going to a phishing website, which is what that's called, phishing. And now you're screwed because now you got your ID taken.
Hey,
So,
Mike.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
What's that?
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Charles.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, bud?
Good. Hold on. Someone wants to thank you. Dad, I'm on with Jake Asman and Purple Belt Mike. I want you to.
Who's this? Hi. Hi.
Hi, Dennis. How you doing,
Mr.
man?
Gorman?
Good. How you doing?
Everything work out today okay?
That's the guy, Mike. His nickname is Purple Belt.
I'm sorry, what?
Everything work out okay today?
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Thank you so much.
Good. All right, you have my number if you need me, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thank you
Dennis
guys
Gorman.
again for all your help.
You're a legend, Dennis. You're a legend.
Thank you. You guys are great. Thanks a lot.
And hey, Charles, just so you know, I'm told that the Asmaniac community has raised over $500 so far to get back the money that you were scammed. So we've almost made you whole in less than 24 hours.
It's not the money that's just the main concern. It's my trust was it was my trust that was exploited.
That was the second thing that I was going to say. So the first thing was, like the monetary and whatever, and the second thing is the trust. You believed somebody was someone, and they got you to believe, but in fact, it was really a Nigerian hacker. So to everybody, no one is going to ask for your personal information and your bank information and whatever, especially if you met for the first time. Those are all red flags. And if it smells like shit, don't step in. If you have any feeling that something might not be right, probably is. And there's no urgency ever when you meet somebody for anything. For the Asmaniacs out there, this is a Jake plug, I guess. If you're in the Patreon, then you can hit me up in the Discord. If you have questions, I'll answer, but you got to be in the Patreon.
I should
Discord.
have listened to my instincts, and I should have listened to you guys.
Well, you learn from it, Charles. It's a learning experience.
Yep.
I want to thank all of Asmania, if I said that correctly, for their love and support. I know I get angry when you guys tease me, especially with my chicken soup and my farts. But I realize now you guys truly care for me and my family. And I appreciate that.
We appreciate you, Charles.
One more thing on the layer of security for a second. So if you're gonna send money, an extra layer of protection is actually a credit card, because now you have a credit card company having your back as well as the bank that you have the credit card with. So there's 2 layers of security. If you're just using like an app, like Cash App, or if you're using just your debit card or whatever, you're losing a second layer of security. So,
well, I just got LifeLock, so.
Yep, LifeLock's good. Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
If Nick Shine is watching the show, thank you, sir. I'm sorry I was like an idiot yesterday. You're like a big brother to me, as well as somewhat of a father figure.
Oh,
I'm not making a joke or a pun, because you are a father too, Nick Shine.
Nick Shine is watching the show. He actually just super chatted. Wait, so there's actually merit to Bobby demanding to see someone's face? What an offseason. Thanks again for being you, Mike. Huge shout out again, Purple Belt Mike and Nick Shine. I said it at the start of the first show today. They stepped up big last night helping out Charles. So great to see everyone come together to help out Charles.
Well, this is not the first time that's happened to any member of my family. I remember my brother left his debit card or whatever at one of the Woodbridge Township libraries, and his shit got hacked. That wasn't funny either.
It happens, Charles. I'm just glad you're all right.
And then, of course, there was many years ago, someone hacked into our email, said something inappropriate to one of our good friends.
Charles, keep doing you, all right?
All right. My mom's making dinner.
Hell
Peace out, guys.
Mike, excellent job, sir. Excellent job. Give it up to Purple Belt Mike in the chat. Charles, I'm playing you out the only way I know how.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
And I'm definitely playing another fart.
Oh.
Incredible. Thanks to everyone who sent money to either me or Nick Shine to Charles. It will be delivered to Charles in the morning in cash because all his bank accounts had to be locked. So I'll have some money. Big fella, super chat, scammer, payback on YouTube is a great channel to provide info on how these pieces of bleep do this crap. Charles, we got you. Learn from it and move forward. Big fella, what you did yesterday, immediately super chatting, $200 was incredible. I want you to know that that money has already been sent to Nick. Brian writes in, to the Gormans, 5 raffle entries as well. And we got a Dennis Gorman cameo, too. That's a pretty good call. Pretty big moment right there. Ladies and gentlemen, an update on ASMANIAC Madness now, shall we? We the people. Peter Castro, is there a rally in someone's bones? Weed's bones. It is 63-37. Joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is Weed the People. Hello, Weed.
What's up, Jake? You like my Fidel Castro?
Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro. It wasn't easy. I have literally nothing for this guy, man. He's a titan. You can't do anything to him.
I mean,
but
it's a tough one for you, Weed. You ran into a buzzsaw here, but it's not over yet.
He did, it's kind of a drawback. He did close down all the beaches in New Jersey one day just so he could hang out. So if anybody didn't get to go to the beach that day, it's all Pete's fault. Pete's right. One more that was inspired by a showdown with Nate.
Oh my God.
The man's a legend, Jake. He's been all over the world. He's done everything. He's won the Tour de France twice, and he did it without doing steroids, and he still has both of his balls. So it's impressive. But I need to rally people. Come on, I'm handing out free pre-rolls. Free pre-rolls for everybody that votes for me. You just got to line up at the door.
63-37. So there's still some votes out there for you, Weed. You just have to. You got to hope that people believe in the power of memes.
That's what I'm banking on for this one, Jake. I love Peter, man. I don't want to go too bad.
Weed, keep up the great work, all right?
Doing my best, Jake. I'm doing my best.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Weed the People. Weed the People. Excellent. Chew says for Charles. Don't send them to me, Chew. Thank you. Don't send them to me. Venmo. Me. Not YouTube super chats. Don't let YouTube get a cut. So all the money can go to Charles. I'll make sure that we take into account. But YouTube's taking 30% of this right off the bat. So my Venmo, for those of you who want to support Charles, is Jake-Asman. And I'll make sure it goes to Nick, who's handling it. You'll see the picture of me, so you'll know it's my Venmo. Beast Breaker with a super chat to Charles. Just be you. Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, in action tomorrow on the first show of the day in the Sweet 16. David T and Neil will go at it. So on the line right now to talk about that matchup and more is none other than the David T.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
I'll tell you what, the whole Charles Gorman thing, I mean, I am touched and proud to be an Asmaniac. We all make misjudgments, and my philosophy in life is, you try not to make the same mistake over and over again. But the neat thing about your show is you have people from all walks of life, and if one of the Asmaniacs gets in trouble, there's people that step up to help them out, and we're all Jets brothers and sisters, and I'm proud, I'll tell you.
Well, David, you're a big part of that community as well, so that's nice of you to say.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a Jets thing, I'm excited about the perspective, the heavy duty running game, and I guess if they take a offensive lineman, or the tight end, I mean, it wouldn't be a wrong decision. Me personally, I have preference to the tight end because they say he's a really good blocker, and that helps the running game in itself, and then the passing game. That's where I'm at. But I just really wanted to to give you guys a compliment. The whole ASMANIAC team with Charles Gorman.
David, how you feeling about the matchup with Neil tomorrow?
Oh, I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward, and I thought about this because I knew you were going to ask me. I'm the rookie going into the All Pro ASMANIAC, and pretty much the Godfather. And even further than that, I compare Neil to my dad and my uncles. Good family man, Italian man, love to have a great time. I mean, just all around good people. So I'm pretty much in over my head, Jake, to be quite honest with you.
I think you got a shot, David. You're a beloved caller. Just be you out there, right?
Okay, well, you know what? I was even gonna vote for Neil, but I better vote for myself so at least I get one vote.
David, if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? You got this.
I do. I believe in myself, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Neil's, the ultimate. What do you say? The ultimate big boy.
Amen, ladies and gentlemen. David T.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Love it. That's a battle tomorrow, folks. Neil and David T. 2 versus 3 in the Sweet 16. David T is the man. Black Gypsy, if your initials are DD, then I did receive your Venmo. I'm assuming that's you. I just saw your comment. I'll make sure that gets to Nick Shine, and it will be delivered to Charles Gorman tomorrow. Very nice of you, my friend. Also, David Atkins, I know he sent this after I said don't send super chats, but I'll make sure that this goes towards Charles as well. The reason why don't send any super chats if you want it to go to the Gorman Fund is we want to get Charles Gorman 100% of the money. Because when you super chat, YouTube's going to take their percentage out. All right, let's get to more of your calls now. Yes, he's called in, baby. He has called in. I don't think he even needed to call in this early. He's cruising right now. You look at the scoreboard in ASMANIAC Madness, and Peter Castro was up 61-39. Ladies and gentlemen, Castro time.
Oh, shit.
Hello,
Hey, Jake.
Peter.
How are you?
Look at you on vacation.
It don't fit. Hey, I just want to say, Charles, get past it and move on and put it behind you and just keep it as a learning experience. He's a good kid.
Yep.
And as far as the Jets go, are they doing drugs, thinking about getting rid of Breece Hall? Are you kidding me? That's all they got to do. If they get rid of Breece Hall, that's the end of it for me. I mean, come on.
You're Mr.
He finally
Positivity.
has a chance to get on the scene, to explode. He finally has coaching, all right? We had no coaching for 4 years. Now we have coaching. Let's go. Let's go.
I agree. I hope they don't trade him. Now, Peter, how are you feeling about your matchup against Weed? I mean, you're cruising right now.
Well, Weed's very talented. He's a talented guy, as you can see, with all his drawings. He's very good. You know what? Who knows? He's a very good competitor, and I actually like him, and I think he's very talented.
Have you given any thought, assuming that you hold on here, to a potential battle against your dear friend Neil for a spot in the Final Four?
Yeah, that would really be a tough one. Neil is he's a killer. He knows how to work the audience. Very good.
What are you? You got on a bike to try and take down Nate.
Yeah, I recuperated from it too. It took me a couple of days. I even got on a scooter because Nate asked me to get on a scooter. So I have a tape of me on the scooter. So I did that too. I've been training.
I mean, you have to pull out all the stops if it is Neil, because Neil might get on like a private jet to try and win this tournament.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know what Neil's capable of. He'll fly to several different countries to get the votes. So, Jake, do you really think that they're going to get rid of Breece Hall?
No, I don't. But I do see why people are starting to connect the dots after Glenn's comments yesterday. He's in the last year of his deal. Denver, I guess, would make it would make sense because of the connections between both organizations right now. They could use a running back. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think it'd be a huge mistake, but I at least want to warn people. I don't think it's the craziest thought to think it could happen.
The first year, he tore his what? His Achilles?
Tore his ACL. Yeah, as a rookie.
Tore his ACL. The second year, he recuperated. Last year, with his rotten coaching staff, he couldn't move because they don't know how to scheme up a run game. Give him the ball and give him coaching and give us a line that's going to block instead of just stand there. And I guarantee you're going to see results like you won't believe. And I'm going to tell you right now, JJ is correct about Justin Fields. He is correct.
You love Fields.
You know what? It's not that. Did you hear what Woody Johnson said about him? What a jerk.
I mean, yeah, it was either him or Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Where were you? What is he, in half a coma, that guy? I mean, he's a joke. But anyway, Justin Fields is just the perfect guy that we needed. He's perfect. And I'm telling you, you're in for a shock, and all the Asmaniacs are in for a shock because they're going to be a lot better than they were last year with this 99-cent shopping, because they still have a lot of talent on that team that wasn't even touched.
I hope so. Let's see how they're coached. The coaching staff is good. They can be a lot better.
Do you like that picture I put in you at the end?
I did. The original video, we can't play Eye of the Tiger because then YouTube will take down the channel.
It wasn't the Eye of the Tiger. It was Ricky Steamboat.
Well, didn't you send me one with Eye of the Tiger?
Yes, because you said that they couldn't use Ricky Steamboat, I thought. That theme.
Anything that's a real song we can't use for like that continuous amount of time. YouTube will let you play like 5 seconds of like a copyrighted song.
Well, the Ricky Steamboat's not a song. It's just the theme. It's just
yeah, but that will get flagged though.
Okay. That's okay. I mean, the one that Gator put on it was like a funeral march.
I thought it was great. I thought it was very sentimental, and it brought tears to my eyes to see your fandom.
It was kind of dramatic.
Yeah, that's the point. This is what this tournament is.
All right. I'll see you later, Jake.
Peter, you're in cruise control right now, my man. Keep doing you. Cruise control on his way to the Elite Eight. Castro up 61-39 with over 400 votes that have been cast. Peter Castro, how about it? We are accepting raffle entries. Chance to win a Namath helmet, old school helmet, Don Maynard helmet, Weeb Eubank signed helmet, and a Don Maynard framed signed photo, plus Super Bowl III replica ring. So gift a membership to be entered in the next Asmaniac raffle. Let's say hello right now to Kyle Clifton. Hello, Kyle.
What's going on, Jake? How are you?
Kyle, what's going on?
I'm here with Little Miss Clifton, and I'm trying to drum up support from the 5%ers that might have voted for Jay Graves in the last round. See if I can bring them over to my camp for this epic throwdown versus Lane Train on Friday afternoon.
Are you excited to go up against the Lane Train?
I'm a little apprehensive, but I think that I've got a puncher's chance. So, and that's all you can really ask for in this tournament. I mean, we've seen all the other ones go down, and I can't see why I can't be the next one to take Lane out.
You got a chance. I mean, we've seen one seeds go down fast and quickly in this tournament. Why not? Why not Kyle Clifton against Lane Train? That's how I'm looking at it.
So, Little Miss Clifton, is this anyone you'd like to tell the callers to vote for on Friday? No? Oh, no. Not Daddy? Okay. Okay. You're dismissed then. You're dismissed then. You mean that means you can go. Give me the earpiece. Come on, Sassy. Give me the earpiece. All right. No rush to have daughters. They're very disobedient.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
She's very cute though.
Very cute, and I'm hoping that she can garner me some goodwill with with some of the electorate. Yeah, I mean, as far as Breece goes, we got to see what's out there first before we say definitely no, right? Like he's one of the few pieces where it might make sense just on a timeline, on a schedule, right? Like since he's about to be paid, and since he's had an injury history, if we were able to get, say, a second round pick, and I don't know if we'd be able to get that, but let's listen, right? I don't want people to think that I'm definitely a trade Breece guy. I'm definitely consider trading Breece guy. And if it makes sense, then you pull the trigger. It opens up another need, right? But I think that there's something to be said for being unpredictable in this draft, right? And filling needs as you go, and being opportunistic, and just taking down value. If you have, if you were to have 5 picks in the top 110.
I want a second round pick for Breece Hall. I wouldn't trade. I think he's going to be so important for this offense to have a chance. Like I don't want to we trade Breece. How am I supposed to feel like this team is going to be good next year? Seriously.
No, I get it. It's a tough, it's a tough hypothetical because I don't know in this market if anyone's going to be willing to trade that with the depth of this running back class. But if the Broncos, for instance, are a team that's win now, they might be the team that says, well, let's pay up, let's pony up for a guy who's kind of done it before. Well, pony up for the Broncos.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks, Jake.
Kyle Clifton and a special guest, Little Miss Clifton, joining us there. Huge shout out to our guy Bill, who just sent me a Venmo for Charles Gorman. I'll make sure that goes to the proper channels. Thank you, Bill. I received it. If you're still watching the show live. Anthony with a super chat. Roseanne and I can't wait to meet all the Asmaniacs at the draft party. If this is the father of who I think it is, our dear friend Hoodie Frazier, a.k.a. Roe. Can't wait, Anthony. I'm glad you both are coming. It's going to be wild. Come to the draft party, people. Get your tickets like Anthony did. Click the link in the description. It's going to be wild. Going to be crazy. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Black Gypsy's on the line. What's up, Black Gypsy?
What's up, Jake? First things first. Allen sucks. Just want to put that out there. Allen sucks. When he does come back, I have all the smoke for him. Like I'm waiting for him to come back.
I can't wait.
Over him. So, a couple of things. Everybody is talking about Fields, like how we're going to use Fields. It's pretty obvious. It's going to be a copy of Philly's offense. There's no other way that we can use him. Like that's literally the only way we can use him. Like he throws when he needs to throw. He runs the rest of the game. The offensive line runs the rest of the game. But the thing that bothers me about the whole Fields thing is we need offensive linemen because Olu's going to get hurt again and ABT is going to get hurt again.
How do you know Olu's going to get hurt?
Because he got hurt in the wins he played last year. It wasn't like it's how you get hurt. It's not why you get hurt, but how you get hurt. Like he went down pretty easy on something that wasn't serious. So like I see him getting hurt again. So
injuries just happen sometimes, man. Like I don't know. I can't assume
how
he's gonna get hurt.
How many players do you know that get hurt that don't get hurt the next year?
I mean, a lot. I mean, like Breece Hall, the year he tore his ACL, I think he started every single game the following year.
That's another thing. Now, I love Breece. Love Breece to death. I would not trade Breece for anything, right? So I'm saying it now. I wouldn't trade him. He brought life back to that team the first year he was here. It was awesome to watch him play. But his run vision does suck, and he doesn't block. So I can see why they want to get rid of him, but I wouldn't want to get rid of him. For the whole Gorman thing, tell him not to feel bad because I have a friend that lost $12,000 to one girl that he met on Instagram. That he swore
same
was
thing, fake woman type of thing.
same thing, bro. But he got video calls, and like TBM was saying, they changed the face. Like it was a dude. He was talking $12,000, bro. So for $700, Gorman, thank God you were online, and we got to see it.
He's about to break even. It looks like we have some unbelievable, generous listeners who have sent in so much money already, which is incredible.
That is also awesome because in watching the live yesterday, when you were saying, "Are you serious?" and I saw the look on his face, I knew he was dead ass serious. And how everyone reacted in the group was amazing. Like that still shows you that we're still good people out there. And it was, oh, people are shitty. Like we all came together. Even people that were talking shit still came together, minus Alan. Alan the whole time was talking shit about Gorman.
He's the worst. He's
That's
the
what
people
pissed me
defend
off.
him. He's a terrible, terrible
I'm gonna
human
be
being.
the heel. I'm gonna be the heel. My heel's gonna end up in your chin one of these days. Like I would love to see some of these people like in person, bro. The last thing I got was it's something that happens all the time, right? Because they say they want to trade Breece. Like if you're a player and you're Breece and it's time for you to get paid, then the team trades you. When other players look at that, who's gonna want to come play for the Jets?
To me, it doesn't fit. Like, don't trade your best running back when you're trying to be a run-oriented team. It's just use logic. It makes no sense to do it. You can't do it.
All right. So last question I have for you: if it's between Membu and Warren, who do you want?
I'm taking Warren right now. If that's the scenario.
I'm with the same thing. That's basically all I had to say. Gorman, it'll get better. And JETSSSSSS. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Black Gypsy, who will not be a 16 seed in the tournament next year if he calls consistently. He's a great caller. You saw it there. Tremendous. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Raffle entries. We're accepting them. Appreciate all of you supporting the show. I think Mimosa's watching. I want to thank Mimosa. She, I believe, works in the wine industry and sent me like 6 awesome bottles of wine. So Mimosa, if you're out there, thank you. Looking forward to trying those. All right, more of your calls right now. We haven't heard from this guy. I'm curious his thoughts on everything happening with the community, Charles Gorman, the matchup in ASMANIAC Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, unleash the beast.
Hey, Jake, there's one thing I'm going to say about the wine. If you're going to use the wine, use it for differences. Like, I'll give you a couple examples. Cooking methods. Also, if you're going to be cooking with wine, spaghetti sauce, do it wisely. Same with meats. If you want good meats, get some good burger meat and also get some good steaks. You know, the wine.
What about gabagool?
Oh, no. Gabagool is respected. Very, very well respected. Same with mortadella. Same with salami. Same with also prosciutto. That's my family. This is all the stuff that we like. But trading Breece Hall, are you on crack? To anyone who wants Breece Hall, I don't think so. We're not trading. No, we are not gonna trade. If you guys trade Breece Hall, I swear to God, someone's gonna get 2 things. It's called the Red Foreman treatment. You know what the Red Foreman treatment is? My foot in your ass.
Hey, Beast, question for you. Do you have any lights in your attic there? It's always so dark on the second show. When you call
it's shitty today. It's very, very shitty. But the Charles, next time, don't do something stupid. I know how you feel. How you think I feel. Dude, the whole world is not sunshine and rainbows. It's a very cold place in the world. Just think of it this way. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now, you're going to look back at these memories and you're going to go, what the hell was I thinking? Well, you got to learn from your mistakes. See, I learned from my past mistakes, but you know what? We got to move on. It's like money. You know how you do the super checks? Yo, when the money comes in, it's got to roll along. We got to move on. It's all part of the system. But Don't ever do that again, Charles. Don't ever do that again. We're not trading Breece Hall. We're not. Why don't we give Michael Clemens away? We could give him away for like maybe 25 grand, maybe. You know, the smallest part of 25 grand. 25 grand is the nice little start, you know. But you, Jake, I know what you're gonna say. The 25 grand, that's loose change right there, you know. Because remember when you went to New Orleans, and you were like, you spent what was it, $1,100 on internet?
Yeah.
You were like $1,100 on internet. What the hell? That's the most expensive internet you ever spent.
I know. I'll tell you
God.
what, Beast. This is a great call out of you today. All right, I thought you brought it.
I'm trying to make points here that we're not gonna. If we be this stupid to get rid of Breece Hall, you gotta have the brains of a pissant. That's the dumbest thing to ever do. I mean, we've done some dumb things before, but this takes the cake. I mean,
holy crap! Here comes Beastbreaker 666.
Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me?
Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I may be big, but I'm gonna be bad enough to put you out.
Beastbreaker always has some salient points.
I'll tell you what. Even if you're not a fan of Beast, you can't deny he was on point with that call there. That was tremendous. Tremendous. I would like to know the light situation for Beast, though. I mean, his Buffalo Jet fan style microphone is like the only lighting he has in the cave, the attic. C with a super chat cuts the line. Would not be quick to trade Breece. Want to see how he plays this year. Last year he didn't look right. Curious how he bounces back. I agree, and I like the fact that there's some real competition in that running back room. Good. I think it's going to motivate Breece. He's going into a contract year. He wants to be paid. I mean, I'm not getting rid of this guy. Like you can't sell me on we're trying to win, and then you trade the best weapon we might have on offense outside of Garrett. You can't. And let's be fair, too. Breece Hall as a rookie was winning Offensive Rookie of the Year over Garrett until Breece got hurt, paving the way for Garrett to then win it. Breece is dynamic, man. Don't get rid of that guy. See what you have for a year. Boomtown writes in, Jake, I'm getting worried how many Asmaniacs you say are going to be in next year's tournament. Well, let's be real, Boomtown. They got to call in. We got rules. To be eligible, you had to call in at least once over the last 3 months before the brackets came out. So hopefully people call in, take it seriously. Love it. Roseanne wants to know, why are you sitting in a dark cave, Beast? Now, Roseanne, are you aware that I believe your father super chatted us before? Looking forward to meeting you both at the draft party. All right, let's continue with your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back where he belongs. A day after advancing to the Elite Eight, becoming the first Asmaniac to ever do so. The big fella is on the line.
He's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Well, the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Well, that's a big fella.
I'm back. Thank you, man.
Bravo.
Hey, I think this whole Breece thing I think it's all smoke. It is misinformation season. And I think it's for people to, for them to put the word out to other teams that we could be trading him. And the Jets may take Janty if he's available at 7. So they could work out a deal or something like that. That's just my thoughts on that.
Well, the one thing I'll say is you do see a lot of times new regimes come in and they make that trade you're not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want Breece to be that guy. I think Breece is really good. We should let him play out this last year and go from there. I think he's an important part of what they're going to try to be as an offense.
Well, it's all been about appeasing Garrett, it seems. Okay. They brought in Justin Fields. I'm happy about that. I think Justin Fields is going to work out just fine. But to bring him in, okay, Garrett's old college quarterback, you're not going to get rid of his best friend on the team too. it's and it's perfect. It's the perfect scenario to bring the smoke about because it is his contract year coming up, So, it provides the whole situation of, it makes it more believable. So that I just think it's smoke. I don't think that they're going to be getting rid of him. And plus they have 2 young running backs behind him that really aren't proven that much. And Aaron Glenn says he wants to win. Well, that's, their best player. So best offensive player. So
tough to sell. You're trying to win if you trade Breece Hall and you're trying to be a run-oriented offense.
Exactly. So that's what I want to say. I mean, I think it's just smoke.
How are you feeling about the Gorman situation? 24 hours later, big fella. I mean, that was crazy yesterday.
Yeah. That was a crazy, I hyped it up a little bit. Like I'm going against Gorman and everything, with the videos and stuff like that. I had no clue that shit was going to happen, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But, thank God everything's working out for him right now. Hopefully he learns from this. Like everybody's been saying, he's got to be more aware. That's all. And sometimes it takes some people a little longer than others. So we just got to be there for him,
I love it.
Now,
big fella, there's something right about you on your bed. I just want you to know that.
Well, yeah, thanks, man. My wife said the same thing. But there's one thing you got to do for me. You got to open that bottle, bro.
That's right. We said if you defeated Gorman, we would open it. Oh, hell yeah.
You got to open that bottle.
Hell yeah. Let's see if I can do it. I might need a second to figure out how to open this without.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Hold on. This has been sitting here for literally a year.
Almost a year, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen,
there we go.
This was supposed to be opened when the Jets were going to win the AFC East this year. That obviously did not happen. So a couple weeks ago, big fella said, if I beat Gorman, you have to open it on the air. So I would do that for you, big fella. Hold on.
Thank you, man.
Anything is possible, folks.
No, I proved
to the
that
big fella.
Awesome. That was a healthy one right there, man. That was
to
healthy.
The big fella.
But want to hear something funny? I was supposed to meet King Lowski in Nashville when I went to the Nashville game, and we never met. So it's kind of funny that I'm actually meeting him in this tournament.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love it.
Oh yeah. But thank you for everything, Jake. I appreciate it. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Just, happy everything's working out. And
hey, hold on a second, big fella. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Because guess who's back?
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, child! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, child!
Hey, big fella.
What's up, man?
I'm doing good. Just want to say thank you for your support, and I had fun. Even though I didn't really care about winning at that point, I was just like, you know what, screw it, let me just have some fun.
Yeah, well, like I was trying to tell you yesterday, all right? You just have to be confident, okay? And it doesn't mean like being an asshole to people, like being mean. It just means you got to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. And that's it. And you'll be fine, man. It takes some people longer time to develop that than others, but you'll get it. Just keep working at it. That's it, man.
How's the family?
Family's good. Family's good,
I'm doing good, man.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something funny? Here's something funny. I had to explain to my wife that I had to give $200 to somebody who got scammed, and it wasn't me. But listen, man, happy to help, and I'm happy you're learning and you're progressing, and just keep it up, man. That's it.
Thank you, man. God bless. Are you going to be at the draft party?
Absolutely.
Are you going to be at the draft party, Charles?
I would love to, yes.
I just want to make sure Dennis didn't ground you for life.
I have to take care of I have to get shit. Hold on. I have at 2:00. I think it's at 2. I had to get my gums cleaned out at my dentist.
Well, the party starts at 7, so don't worry. You have time.
Your gums aren't that
Thank
big.
you.
There you
The
go.
gums aren't that big. Well,
There
I
you go.
appreciate that, man.
You got it.
Show
Man.
us your gums.
Anyways, I feel a lot better now. My father.
Gums. Show us your gums. Yeah.
I'm trying not to make it look like Bubba from Forrest Gump, where people go, "Easy there, cover your lips. You set off a tripwire or something."
Tom Ace brings up a good point here. I should get the coveted chicken soup recipe for this, man. I'm just fucking with you. You know, it's
my mother. I would love to. First of all, I gotta ask my mother for it first, so I can make it myself.
Charles, I'm just messing around, pal.
I know, but no, I, the more you guys ask me, I'm like, you know what? I should learn it myself in case so I'm able to cook for myself.
Absolutely.
I'll be living on my own soon.
Yeah.
The best thing about a recipe is being able to pass it down.
Mike wants the recipe too. He's earned it. He's helped your ass avoid catastrophic circumstances.
So I'm good.
Yeah. And God bless Purple Belt Mike for helping you, and Nick Shine, my twin.
Yes.
He's a great
They're
guy.
good man.
He
Nick
really
Shine is dropping off boatloads of Asmaniac funded cash to you tomorrow. Charles wants the recipe.
Well, my
as
mom
well.
won't be home, so I think my dad won't know it either.
Apparently, we've raised over $700.
Nothing, Mom. Everything's fine.
Wow. Oh, Charles, you're actually going to make money on this scam. Unbelievable. Oh, God. Let me listen in.
Yeah, it's just chicken soup. That's all. The lore of the chicken soup is legendary. So, that's it. But anyway, have a great day, Charles.
You too, man. God bless you. I will see you at the party.
Oh, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. And
I still got my Down in the Vilma jersey. Hold on.
Okay.
Put it on. Put it on. There it is. Look at that. Gorman rocking the J. Vilma jersey at the party. If that's not a reason to come to the party, I don't know what is.
Hell yeah.
Even though I remember Vilma more as a Saint than as a Jet.
And let me just make one thing perfectly clear. Okay? You don't support Tom Brady and Wes Welker ever again. Ever. Ever.
I don't support them.
Don't appreciate them either. They suck ass.
Them.
Or respect them.
They don't deserve our respect. They're from Boston. They're pieces of shit.
I don't know about that, but I actually went to Boston my junior year, and some of the people I talked with were very nice.
They're assholes.
Hey, Roseanne can't wait to meet you, Charles. Are you ready to meet, to quote you, a lovely lady?
Sure.
Okay. Sound a little excited. Jeez.
And Charles, you have to learn how to smell criminality, brother. You have to learn. Oh, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Gorman and the big fella.
Excuse me.
Incredible. Roseanne says, for real, I deserve more enthusiasm than that, Charles. I agree. Roseanne is a wonderful member of this community. Represents the esteemed 4.5% female demo. Coming to the draft party. PBM says, wait, Charles going to the draft party. I thought there would be no chance after yesterday. I thought he'd be like grounded by Dennis and company for life. But if Charles can make it, great. Honestly, then I forget who made this point. If anything, he definitely should come to the draft party because his family should trust how great this listener base is. This community is. Nick Shine said we hit over $700. And Nick, I haven't even sent you what I got Venmoed to me during this show. Unbelievable. Leon says, I have enthusiasm for Roseanne. Oh, my God. This is so funny from Nate. Charles more excited to meet fake women than actual women. It's a good point. You got to respond to this. Charles, why is it that you're more excited to
I
be...
wasn't excited. I wasn't looking for romance. I was looking for a casual conversation. She was just hitting on me. And every time I kept calling her by her name, quote unquote, by her name, she's like, call me something romantic. I'm like, no.
This is incredible.
Well, the reason why I was doing so sorry because if my mother heard her name being called, she would get a little upset by that. So Miss Roseanne shares my mother's name. So
Well, I'll tell you what, Charles. Purple Belt Mike is going to go to the draft party if you go.
I would love to go, yes. And Nick Shine said he will take me there. So if I'm able to go, so.
Hell yeah. Also,
And I'll
Clancy
let
will talk to you every night for $700 if you're interested.
No, I'm not interested. Nice try, Clancy.
Roseanne says, Charles, bring your mom so we can have her Roseanne off.
My mother's not interested in sports.
Yeah, but is she interested in camaraderie, friendship,
She's going to be doing her own thing on Thursday.
food and beverage? Come on. Hey, Charles, I'm being told that you inspired the youth to not make your mistakes. Chris G and Connor Long join us. Guys, did you learn something from what Charles experienced, I hope?
100%.
1,000%. I will not be giving out my information on the internet. I will be
All
sure
right.
that is crystal clear.
Good. Let's make sure
Sorry
that,
if I
that
wasn't a good example for you youngsters.
See,
Oh, it's all good, Charles.
You're teaching the youth what not to do. So we're all going to learn from this together. I'm glad
Anyway,
you're already distracted, Charles. Thank you.
How you doing, Connor? I heard you're going with Mike Greenberg at 7 o'clock.
I'm doing
tonight.
well. Yeah, not tonight, but yeah, I got he's coming on with me next week.
Greeny's coming on. When's he coming on?
Yeah, Monday. Monday.
Oh, it's on Monday. I thought it was today.
No, yeah, Monday.
Love it.
Appreciate it.
I have so many good memories listening to Mike Greenberg on the radio with Mike Golick. Mike and Mike in the morning.
For sure.
That was one of my dad's favorite radio shows.
Dennis.
Nice, yeah. Greeny's great. Get up every single morning, doing ESPN draft coverage. Yeah, Greeny's the best.
It's a shame they Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg don't talk anymore.
1,000%. Yeah, I know Golick was at DraftKings for a little while. I don't know where he is now.
Nate wrote in that he's surprised, Charles, you knew your social security number to even give out.
Really, Nate? You're gonna shit on me right now?
Yeah, Nate, you piece of crap. You jerk. Go ride your bike. Call him out, Charles.
Don't make me piss on your bike, Nate.
Yeah.
And I steaming sprinkler, urinating all over that.
Oh, baby.
Excuse my language, kids.
Dicker the Kicker says you should be the head of cybersecurity.
Haha, very funny.
Some of these are pretty funny. I won't lie.
How's your family doing, guys?
Good. Can't complain. Everyone's
How
doing
was
well.
school, Connor? Did you finish all your
school?
subjects?
No, I didn't have class. I've had 2 weeks spring break, so I go back Monday.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
part of
it.
me does miss school. You know why? Because I had a routine.
Yeah.
I socialized. It's a lot different now than I went to school, I'll tell you that much, but part of me does miss going to school.
Would you guys have been friends with Charles in are you both still in middle school?
I'm in high
Chris is
school.
in
I'm a freshman.
Chris
Yeah.
is in 9th grade.
I say so. Chris is in high school. Connor's in 8th grade. Got it. Charles would have fit well in your guys' friend groups. I'd imagine he
For
loves
sure.
sports, loves the Jets.
I'm 30.
Yeah, but I'm saying
100%.
if you went to school with him, not now. This is not Billy Madison. You're not going back to school, Charles.
I would
I
love
would've
to
been- I
meet
would've been best
Billy
friends with Charles.
Madison.
Yeah, same
I would
here.
love to
Same
pull a
here.
Billy Madison. I would love to pull a Billy Madison. That's a great movie. I love that movie.
There, yeah. Are you going to go back to kindergarten like he did, Charles? You're going to start there?
Yes. Take a nap. Destroy kids in dodgeball. Oh, wait, you can't play that no more because it's bullying bullshit.
Charles?
Take nice little naps. Yes.
I hope this happens for you, all right?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Charles Gorman.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
All right, we have the youth of Jet fandom with us now. Connor and
Let's go.
Chris, how you guys doing?
Doing well. Can't complain, Jake.
What do you think of this Breece Hall stuff? I know, Connor, weren't you trying to talk about trading Breece Hall a while ago?
Yeah, I was. Look, I don't think this is something that's going to happen. Here's what I would do: a 3rd and a 5th round pick for Breece Hall. That's a move I would feel comfortable with, especially with the strength overall of the running back class. I feel like you could get someone in the 3rd or 5th round who, here's my thing with the Jets running back room overall. I don't want to rely on this guy to be the team's running back one, but I really, really like what I saw from Isaiah Davis in a limited sample size last season. I want to find a way to kind of get him more involved in the game plan, showed value as a pass catcher, was able to rip off some big runs. I really like Isaiah Davis. I don't think they're going to trade Breece, and I'm really hoping Breece could have a bounce back year. I know, there was the whole thing of me talking about Garrett and everyone else. I just hope this team has a winning season for the first time I've been watching the New York Jets. And I hope, Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji come in and turn this thing around, whether Garrett Wilson's on the team, whether Garrett Wilson's off the team, whether Breece Hall's here, whether Breece Hall is not here. We're all rooting for the same guys, and we're all hoping this team could do great things.
Chris, your thoughts?
Jake, I'm with you. I don't want to deal Breece at all, but if we were, I would want at least a second. I mean, we already created a hole at wide receiver at getting rid of Rodgers, so there's no reason to get rid of Breece too, especially when we're going to be a run-first offense like you said. So there's no reason to get rid of Breece. He has big playability, and we've seen what he can do, being second in all-purpose yards. So when we feed him, he's getting production. So that's what I want to do. I'm really willing to give him a chance this year and see. I think he's going to go nuts this year.
Chris, you realize though one of the main reasons he had all those all-purpose yards is I think he ranked below average for what running back one. I think he was in that 15 range when it came to overall rushing yards, because all-purpose yards, it just had to do really with Zach Wilson trying to find a safety net in the backfield because he couldn't push the ball downfield and dumping it off to Breece and then letting allowing the blockers to go downfield and Breece Hall trying to make plays. I mean, I'm hoping that Breece is able to bounce back this season, and I think the running backs are going to look really, really solid overall, especially playing with Justin Fields, because one thing with Rodgers is you didn't have to worry about him taking off with the football. Now when you have Breece Hall in the backfield paired with Justin Fields, or Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis in the backfield paired with Justin Fields, you have to worry about both those guys taking off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Peter Castro, who joins the Youth of America on the show.
What's up,
Hey
Peter?
guys.
Peter, school these people. School Connor Long in particular. We're not trading Breece Hall. Tell him.
Connor, why would you ever want to get rid of Breece Hall? He's not even tapped yet. His potential hasn't even been tapped.
So you want me to explain why I want to get rid of him? Well, actually, want me to explain why I don't? If I had to make a decision right now, what he would go for, what a team. Here's the thing. I said I would trade him for a 3rd and a 5th round pick. There's no way you're getting that for Breece Hall in a very, very deep running back class this year. That is the only scenario where I trade him. He's going to be on this roster this year, in my opinion. Here are the reasons I don't want to trade him. He's entering the last year of his contract. This is someone, if I had to make a prediction right now, does not get a second contract with this team. It's number one. Second, an issue he's had since college, his vision. Every year we've seen his vision get worse and worse at the NFL level. Plus, last year, the whole thing with Breece Hall was he's going to be this home run hitter, play in and play out. He's going to break these tackles. He really struggled to break some tackles last season, and his big playability, with an exception of those few home run plays, Breece Hall really wasn't a insane running back for this team. So I'm saying in a deep running back class, if you can get a 3rd and a 5th round pick for Breece Hall, I think you can find someone in the later rounds, or even if you want to go with a guy like Ashton Genty in the 1st round after trading Breece, that's something I wouldn't hate. Those are the 3 main reasons I want to get rid of Breece. That's the 3 main reasons why I would be okay getting rid of Breece with a 3rd and a 5th round pick in return.
What'd you think of our coaching staff?
It wasn't great.
What wasn't
but
great?
Also, here's the thing. Here's the thing. People are going to blame the coaching staff. I get that 1,000%. Coaching staff was not so great by any means. 2 things. First off, people forget. Again, I know people hate my numbers, so this is something that you guys can see on film. Go back, watch the first 5 games of the season. Breece had wide open holes to run through, missed them. Problem with the vision. Second off, what's the guarantee that this coaching staff is going to be so great? I like Tanner Engstrand. I like Aaron Glenn. I like a lot of the coaches on the staff, but what's the foregone conclusion here? What's the guarantee that this coaching staff is all of a sudden going to come in and be an insane staff? That's the one thing I don't understand.
You don't realize You don't realize how bad the coaching staff was. That coaching staff shouldn't be coaching a high school team. That's how bad they were.
They were never prepared. They're like a bunch of drug dealers out there on the sidelines.
Like a bunch of crackheads that you stay away from on the sidelines. They should not be NFL coaches. They're terrible. Saleh was a horrible head coach. He didn't discipline the team. He didn't hold anybody accountable. He was awful. And when what's his name? Ulbrich got his shot, he was worse than Saleh. And Hackett stunk. The whole thing stinks. It stunk. I said it from the beginning. I said it last spring to get rid of all of them and get Rabel in here. But, you know, what you're saying is true. We don't know how
Our
good
coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rant that started it all with Peter Castro. Good job by Connor and Chris there. Castro's cruising right now. 61-39. He's on his way to the Elite Eight. And there is a possibility that we get a Peter Castro versus Neil regional final. And if that happens, you have OG on OG for a spot in the Final Four. Wow.
This Jet fan base is full of chickens. Who gives a shit about next year's draft? If you guys are not going to fly like eagles and throw some goddamn balls, get the hell off the chat and go hang out with Charles Gorman and his mother eating some chicken soup. I'm tired of this shit.
Unreal. I believe this one is about Jet legend Tyrone Smith.
If we don't get Tyrone Smith and shore up this goddamn offensive line, I'm done. This is bullshit. Everybody's praising Joe Douglas. I gotta tell you, I'm starting to get pissed. This is the difference between a winner and a goddamn loser. We're a bunch of losers. I'm tired of it. Tyrone Smith's sitting there. What does Joe Douglas say? Well, just draw the line. I will give you $12 million. Wait, you're not going to pay the guy? What are you waiting for? Jesus Christ, I'm pissed.
The best is they got Tyron Smith for like $6 million and he sucked. That's who Neil was screaming about running around going to pay. He sucked. They got him for $6 million. Every other team I guess every other team in the league knew he was washed, except us. I didn't think it was a bad signing. I mean, he was second team All Pro last year. I was with Neil. I was like, they should sign him. I wasn't killing Douglas that he didn't sign him immediately. He was still out there. Neil, no one was worse than JJ at the start of free agency last year. 30 minutes in, the Jets hadn't signed anyone. He wants a big splash. He wanted everyone fired because they didn't sign anyone. Unreal. Jersey Jet with a super chat. Charles, I'm the tough love uncle. Tighten up. Connor or Chris would have got more. Big fella. Connor, it's Mr. Castro. He is the GOAT. Give him respect. Chris Grasso, keep doing your thing. Nate with a super chat. You guys realize there's a good chance Brick Johnson hires PFF_Connor in 2031. I love how Nate's bit is that Connor just looks at Pro Football Focus. That's it. Roseanne with an Asmaniac super chat. I can't believe my dad wrote in without my knowledge. I'm also very excited to meet 90% of Asmania at the party. Going to be a blast. See, I told you, folks, it's not just a sausage fest. There are women who will be there. We have some wags, wives and girlfriends of Asmaniacs in attendance. Some members of the 4.5% will be there, like Roseanne and Jenergy and Jay Graves and plenty of others. It's all happening, baby. Get your ticket today. Let's see. What else do we have on the line here? Let's check back in right now with Weed the People. Weed, are you trying to mount a comeback here against Peter Castro?
I don't think it's possible, Jake. I don't know. I'm trying.
Peter Castro joins us now. Peter, your thoughts on the memes that we just put together?
Very good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's very talented.
I do my best. If you look really close in the car, that's Jake driving. Pete, if I have to lose to somebody, I'm glad it's you. At least I took out Robin, Chiefs fan. Good show. Also, your rants are hilarious.
You did take out Cheats fan. I mean, you had a very memorable tournament. No one can deny that.
I think so. I'm okay. I'm not going to go walk into traffic or anything later. Hey, don't worry about it.
That's good.
Nah, man. I would rather not
suicide.
No, never. I'm already a Jets fan. I've already been close.
Well, after yesterday, I was in shock, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That was something, Peter.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
Also, Peter, you look great in the Florida sunshine. I think Ted is right here. I mean, the tan you have is tremendous.
Oh yeah, well I'm in the water every day, exercising.
It is fantastic.
I mean, this photo that wait, are you upset that Gator did you dirty with this headshot here?
Nah, it's all right. I don't mind. I've looked worse. He had to update it when I shaved the beard. I understand.
I mean, you talk about the difference in skin complexion here. My God.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with it. I'm not making anything in the background or anything.
Roseanne says that Peter Castro has that beautiful orange glow.
He's got the Trump face.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for We the People and the great Peter Castro.
Furline, he stinks. Get him out of here. Aaron Rodgers, he's as bad as Simeon. He's not going to get better. He's 41 with a bad leg. He's terrible.
Unbelievable. All right, we're starting to wind down here. We've only added 6 members to this show. So if anyone wants in on the raffle, gift the membership. You could gift one for $5. Don Maynard helmet to go with the Namath helmet, Weeb Eubank helmet. And we added this prize today. Signed Don Maynard photo. It comes with a certificate of authentication. And it comes in the frame. And then plus the replica Super Bowl ring. I'm working on at least one more big item. If I could win the auction I have going for right now. For the Super Bowl 3 raffle. So stay tuned for that. If I win it, it's such a good prize, I might extend the raffle to a couple days after the normal Friday. Because I want plenty of people to have a chance to win. Let's see. Oh, Bo. How about it, Bo? I mean, Bo's always ready to try and win prizes in the raffle. He is the man. He is supporting the show. And he is in the ASMANIAC raffle for 10. Bo knows. YO Jet fan. Societal narcissism. Mario Rapallo. Duncan McLean. Racing Jason. Ryan Paris. Emily Cosgriff. Truth. And Draft Geek. All receiving channel memberships there from Bo. Shout out to Bo, man. He's awesome. Keeps this channel afloat with the way he's been gifting memberships. All right, a few calls left. We head to Australia. Australian Jet fan is standing by. Hello, Australian Jet fan.
I just wanted to talk about
You
Aaron
being
Glenn.
a Jet and Wizard fan, I mean, you could not have picked 2 worse American teams to root for. Good Lord, dude.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did. Is that the same hat I have?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you noticed. It is.
I only just noticed then. Yeah, no.
I'm still working on, by the way, getting your Asmaniac hat to Finland. I have to go back and figure out if
I
can
really,
do
I
it.
really appreciate that. Yeah, no, I definitely I get bullied for it all the time for my sports teams. I'm not even going to talk about my Australian football team. The only teams that I go for that are somewhat decent are the sports I don't actually watch. So, but yeah, I wanted to talk about Aaron Glenn because I feel like you've been like quite sort of negative on him so far. Um, like I get that I feel the exact same way. Like I feel like people are way hyping him up way too much for someone who hasn't done anything, and I completely understand why you feel this way because, like you said, he is unproven. But I feel like he's done everything right so far. The position
Well,
he's in, like,
I mean, I didn't want them to get rid of Rodgers and Devonta Adams.
well, yeah, I didn't want that either. But like then
I
again,
also didn't want a first time coach. So like I like Aaron Glenn as a person and I think he's qualified to be a coach, but I'm like in the past I would be way more optimistic just because that's my nature. But the last 2 years they have beaten me down. So I'm in a you got to show me before I sing your praises type of mode now.
I understand that, and like I wanted a first time. I didn't want a first time coach either. I wanted Rodgers and Adams to stay, but like, look, I guess only time will tell. But I think just the way that he's like sort of gone about things, I think it's looking really good, and he looks like someone that can finally be that sort of enforcer, someone that the players actually look up to and like want to impress rather than like I feel like Salah was more just like a friend to the players rather than a coach. Someone that they need to drive the standards for, and I just think that like he. I've been impressed with the way he's gone about things so far. That's what I'm trying to say. I think
Yeah, I've
he's in the
I've
going
said
in that
I've enjoyed
direction.
the fair. I've said I've enjoyed his press conferences. I think he's done a good job. I thought he was impressive at the introductory one. I thought he was really good the other day. You know, I just we all want Aaron Glenn to be successful. We just got to see it. That's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm tired of losing. I really am. And if they trade Breece Hall, I'll go nuts. So I
Oh,
want to get
I
out in front
hope
of them.
that doesn't happen. I think the third Breece Hall for a third and a fifth was absolutely ridiculous.
It's not worth
Like,
it to me. It's not worth it to me to
no,
trade him. I just like if this team's going to suck if they don't have playmakers, and now we're going to trade our best one before the draft. Like I'm good.
like yeah, I agree. Like watching him play, he's a very good player. And last year, like at his best, I reckon he's one of the best running backs in the league. But we haven't gotten to see his best. He did his ACL. He came back, had a good season. Then last year, he was a part of the worst run game in the league. Like, what can you expect? Like
Yep. Oh, hold on. So the StreamYard is glitching. Sorry to Connor and Chris who was on hold there. I don't know. And there we go.
Yeah, like Peter says, he has so much untapped potential. Like Connor, like I think it sounds like you got a great football brain, and I think you'll do great in media if you go that direction because some of these takes, man, like you'll know how to make headlines.
He's very good. All right. Hold on. Australian Jeff fan. I had a question for you, but I can't remember. Oh, do you have a baseball team you root for?
Yes, I do.
Which team? The
I
Oakland A's?
no, no. That I've wanted to get into baseball, but like it's too many games for me. Like trying to keep up with the all three of the like three major league sports that play 80 plus games, like baseball 160, is just way too much. Like I could only keep up with one at a time. Like this is why I like the NFL so much because 17 games is just so much better.
So who's your baseball team?
The Nats.
The Nats?
No, yeah, the Nats.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
completely DC besides the Jets.
You should have just been a Yankees fan, man. The Yankees haven't had a losing season since 1992.
What about the bats though?
The bats are legal. Every team's now using them.
That's cooked. We're gonna see so many home runs. But yeah, no, like I said, like I've got no clue about baseball. I just picked them because I was a Wizards fan.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Capitals.
Then why'd you pick the Jets again? Because your dad went to New York
Because
a
of my
while
dad,
ago,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because like my dad was sort of like made the Jets a lot more clear to me growing up, whereas in I got into all these other sports myself. Whereas like, like I had Jets jerseys and stuff at home. And obviously that hat was his and it's now mine. So yeah.
Well, hang in there, Australian Jeff fan. I'll tell you it gets better, but I don't know if it does.
Hopefully it does. Can only pray. I like the direction though. I like the direction. I'm optimistic.
The positivity from Australian Jet fan. Manny says, thinking about making the trip from New Hampshire to the draft party. Manny, we need you there. In fact, I just got a text from the people at Clinton Hall saying the party is not happening unless Manny is there. So about 300 people are counting on you, Manny. No pressure. We need you there. All right, we're starting to wind down here. Almost 2 hours in. Tomorrow, Matt O'Leary will be on with us at 10 a.m. in his weekly spot. The matchup on the first show is a great one. David T. versus Neil. The winner will play Peter Castro in the regional final of the Hood region. This tournament is getting good, baby. It's been good. It's about to be great. Papa Jet is up next. Hello, Papa Jet.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
What's up, Papa Jet?
Not much. Hey, question, like on these real close matches, when it comes down to like 50-50 and all that, do you see the actual numbers, like 382 to, or is it just percentages?
So I don't see the percentages like with the decimal points. We just see the number and then the vote. Like that's all we see.
So would you be able to tell if something was won by one vote?
I personally couldn't because I'm not good at math, but people in the chat have done the math for us.
Okay, because what was weird yesterday? I had a appointment to get my physical, and I got home around 6:30, expecting to watch your replay, And when I tuned in, I saw it was still live, so I hit on it, and you're on 5 on your countdown. So I had literally like 2 seconds to do my vote, and I kind of hope it wasn't one vote because I would feel bad,
This is all I see, Papa Jet. This is all I see when I close the poll. This is exactly the info I get. So Big Fella won yesterday 50-49 with 701 votes. So someone in the chat could do the math to figure out how many votes did Big Fella win by.
Okay. I just hope it ain't one because then but it kind of proves every vote counts, right? So
every vote does count. We've seen an overtime game that literally happened in this tournament. So every vote does count. They were dead even.
Yeah. And as far as Charles goes too, I don't know if he's still on, but just keep your head up, Charles. We all just done mistakes. And Jake, real quick, I'll make a long story short, but about a year after me and my wife got married, we bought some furniture and we bought it off this older gentleman who dealt with the Amish. So we were getting a nice bed and a dresser and really nice wood, oak, and I paid up front. So that was my mistake. I still got a receipt, but I shouldn't have paid all the money up front. Well, wouldn't you know, 2 days later, me and the wife are sitting down watching the 6 o'clock news, and one of those action reports come on, and my guy's on TV. 2 days after I paid him $5,000, and me and the wife looked at each other and we're like, we're screwed.
No way. Are you serious? That's tough.
Seriously, 2 days after, but we ended up getting some furniture. Our bed was correct, but the dresser, we just ordered like a normal dresser, but what came in was like a chest of drawers. It's probably like 8-9 feet tall. And I told the wife, I said, we're not giving it back. We're just going to keep them because we thought we were screwed, but that was a mistake. So Charles, we've all been there, buddy. Just like everybody's been saying, just learn from it and trust your gut next time.
Well, Papa Jet, some salient advice you've offered there, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yep. We'll talk to you next time, Jake.
Papa Jet checking in. Ladies and gentlemen, how about what just occurred in the live chat? Mimosa is back.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
10 memberships, 10 raffle entries for Mimosa, who's tracking on the signed Bart Scott jersey I ordered earlier this week or late last week, whenever it was. It's finally available. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 memberships have been gifted. Cynthia W. So from 1-4% to another. Shout out to Cynthia. MJ, Kilo 112, AJ Driscoll, Julian Vasquez, Jaime G, Aaron R, Orb, Darius Richards, Mike D, 109 Lib, all receiving channel memberships. We added a 5th prize for those of you tuning in late. Maybe you're like Papa Jet. You joined as I was counting down to close the poll yesterday, and you're going to go back and watch the show. Namath helmet, old school helmet, Maynard helmet, Weeb helmet, Don Maynard signed frame photo, and Super Bowl III replica ring. Mother effing Chew is in the Asmaniac raffle for one. Chew, baby. Shout out to Chew for coming through. The recipient of the membership was Swanel G. Patel. Oh, we're getting memberships with the buzzer here. I can't end the show yet. I can't close polling. Everyone wants in. John Mole in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Red John, Matthew Callender, Tyler Ursery, Justin Heath, James Ruse, all receiving channel memberships. But wait, there's more. Devin gifting a channel membership. Let's go. Bang! Bang! That went to listener Joe M., who's a frequent commenter on the show. So, Devin, you're in the raffle for 1. Thank you very much. All right. I see someone down under is on the line, but I don't have a camera, so I don't know if he's there. Craig, are you there? I can't tell. Craig, I don't see you. But if you can hear me, restart your StreamYard and we'll go right to you. Barbarossa is up next. Hello, Barbarossa.
Hey, what's going on, Asmaniacs? I want to just shout out Peter Castro. He did a good job. I did vote for Weed. Me and Peter both like that Jets green, but the green me and Weed like never disappoints. So that's even though I really loved Peter's video, it was great. Really hit me in the feels. So I really like that. More of those videos if you want votes, in my opinion, if you're an OG, because that hit me in the feels.
And Peter was complaining to me about the music choice, and it ended up being great.
Yeah, really good. But just on the topic of achievement, if you see the little ticker, I just want to shout out the wrestling team I coached, the Lady Tigers. We won our second match. We won on criteria. It was 29-29. We had 2 girls that got pins and 1 girl who was wrestling a 2-time city champ who did not get pinned. So they believe in achievement, so should you guys. Got to believe in achievement.
Hell yeah, I love that. That's fantastic, man, Barbarossa. Well done.
Thank you. That's the phrase I've been using all week at practice. So we're going to continue that. See if I can get that on a Grover Cleveland wrestling shirt to get that to some of the Asmaniacs or something like that.
That's amazing. By the way, Boomtown wants your ass in the Discord because he knows you joined the Patreon.
Yeah. I'll get there when I can. With wrestling, it's just been a bit hectic trying to just get on the internet. But I will get there. Oh, somebody just cut me off like crazy. But I'll get there, and me and Boomtown will talk. I just want to say what up to everybody, though.
Barbarossa, you're the man. Great job calling in.
Peace, guys.
Barbarossa checking in. From Barbarossa to Craig in Australia. Hello, Craig.
Mate, sorry about that. Some prick rang me up and it trashed my camera, so I had to come out and come back in. I've only got a few secs and I don't want to hold you up, but I just want to say to Charles, like a lot of people have said, it's happened to all of us. And I said, but Charles, you'll never catch me in terms of the extent of being scammed by a woman. I was scammed by a real woman for 15 years, and she's known as my ex-wife. And you'll never catch me on that one. Don't worry at all. But I've made a billion mistakes in my life. A lot of them, just in hindsight, completely stupid. And you just get better and you improve. That the goal is to trend up. That is the trajectory at all times, and you'll get there. And you've got a lot of mates. I've topped up your fund with Nick Shine today, so you should be made whole now. And just forget about it, mate, and move on and enjoy your friends.
Craig, that's so nice of you, man. That's awesome.
It's all good. Enjoy. Even though he didn't vote for me, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying I'm holding a grudge or anything like that. But this is what mates do. This is what you do. You look after your mates in times of crisis. People have helped me out when I've been struggling over the years. It's not a bad thing. So you look after yourself, and with any luck, I might even see you in a few weeks when we get back there.
Craig, you're the man. You are the man.
Take care, my brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Craig in Australia checking in. All right, that was going to be the last call, and I was going to close the polls. But you know what? When this guy calls in, he dropped off. Wow. I don't even want to say who it was. I don't want to tell the audience what they were potentially missing out on. Damn. Roseanne writes in, Craig is my favorite Australian next to the yellow wiggle. Greg. Sarah says he voted for the better Australian. People are speculating that it was a certain caller whose name starts with a V that called in, but it was not. I wish it was V-Man, though. I DM'd V-Man. He hasn't gotten back to me. I think he's just been sleeping for like 2 straight days. But I need V-Man to start calling in this week because a Bonesy versus V-Man Sweet 16 is epic if they're both engaged. I mean, that could be incredible. I mean, V-Man has dominated this tournament and hasn't even had to, work up a sweat yet. That changes against Bonesy. That changes against Bonesy. There's no doubt. Nick Shine writes in, thanks for the donations. Please don't be alarmed if you see my YouTube show change to the Isabel show. God. Dicker says I got the Wiggles reference. There you go. Are we caught up on super chats? I think we are. Oh, you know what? I don't know if we are actually. Andy, I don't know if I got this. I apologize. I don't trust any of these reporters. Haven't we dealt with pot stirring reports before? Didn't Glenn say they'll use all 3 yesterday? I mean, it's not a report that the Jets are good at trading. It's the reporter is. I don't want to know if the word is speculation, but I kind of connecting dots, right? Glenn's answer yesterday when asked about Breece, he took it to the whole running back room as in general. Breece last year of his deal. Some rumblings Denver would be interested in Breece. You connect the dots. Hey, Muji comes from Denver. Sean Payton, Aaron Glenn, very close. Like, that's where it comes from. I don't think they're going to trade Breece. I hope not. I think it'd be a huge mistake. Unless you're telling me they're getting a 2nd-round pick for the guy. Unreal. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, time to close the poll. Peter Castro is advancing to the regional final. Castro has done it. A dominating performance over Weed the People. Final score 60-39 with 606 votes that were cast. It is the 4 seed, Peter Castro. Moving on to the regional final. Now, who's Castro going to play? That's the question. The answer to that will be determined on the first show tomorrow morning with Matt O'Leary. 10 a.m. Eastern. David T. the 2. Neil the 3. Winner has a date with the OG, Peter Castro. Peter, you officially are moving on. How you feeling?
Feeling great. I just want to thank all the Asmaniacs, the panel, and I really want to thank Gator for everything he does.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Jake, play the thing for my kids, please.
I don't have it handy right now. I can't play it.
Oh, okay.
I can't. It's a long video. It took a while to upload. So when I didn't have to play it anymore, I was like, great, I can clear space for something else.
Okay.
But you know what? Here's what I can do, though, Peter. All right? Because, I mean, you won. You're the champ. You've earned it. I'm going to play you out tonight with one of your greatest hits in the history of the show. So have your kids watch that, all right?
Okay.
All right? Stand by for that. In the meantime, here's what I'm also going to do for you, Peter. I'm going to play this.
Oh, shit.
All right. That's the show. Thanks to everyone. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're back tomorrow. Join the Patreon like Barbarossa has. Like our guy Bijan did today. Like Manny did today. We've gained a couple Patreon users today, which is always awesome. Get in our Discord. That's where the party's at, always. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. All right, I mentioned a video in honor of Peter Castro. I'm going to come through on that promise. I just got to find it. Hold on. I believe I have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching and enjoy the time Peter Castro went head-to-head with Beastbreaker 666.
Yeah, put him back on.
People
Shut
need to
up
be
for
learning
5 minutes.
life.
Shut your big
How
mouth for
about,
5
how about you
minutes.
blow out your left nostril? How about you do this? Go turn your ass around and go walk the left line. How you
got
like
a big
that,
mouth
Apple?
for a fat, ugly prick.
Yeah, you get.
You pick on Bobby? What are you picking on him for? Shut up.
He gotta learn his
You don't
lesson.
know shit. When I talk, you
Yeah,
suck
I
up.
got a
If you
bigger
know
dick
what's good
than
for
you
you.
little.
You don't come on here screaming and yelling at him, you overweight piece of shit. You big mouth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The only thing
Keep
you
talking,
can
asshole.
go stick is a
Keep
donut up
talking,
your
asshole.
ass.
You won't be here too long. Keep talking.
right.
What did Bobby do to you, asshole?
I put
I
bitches
know
like
you're a
you in
champion
check.
of all sports we never heard of. You got 30 years of coaching. You did this, you did that. You know what you did? You did shit.
Because I've learned
That's
more
what
than
you
your
did.
fat ass
You
can
did
do
shit.
best
You
day.
don't know nothing about the Jets.
I'm like the
You
Tony
know nothing
Soprano,
about
Paulie
sports.
Wallace,
You know
and
what you
Studio
are?
Doctor
You're an
combined.
asshole. That's all you are.
This guy, I think his mother dropped him on his head when he was a kid. I tell you that much.
The way he talks, he shouldn't even be on the air.
This has been some show, man.
Two very proud men just simply talking things out.
What's up, clown? Hey, monkey nuts. Let me shut your fakey flaky ass up before you call me a clown. You're dealing with the wrong dog in the yard because the next thing you're gonna get is the army tank, and I'm gonna send one-way ticket coming your way. And just remember this: I might be big, but I'm gonna be bad enough to put you out.
You're nothing but a big blowhard, and you're not going to do nothing. You come face to face with me, I'll shred you so fast that you'll go running back to your boyfriend, funnel butt.
Run back to your boyfriend, funnel butt, is the line of the day. Team Ricky. That was a great line. Back to the calls. Let's go to Gator. Gator, breaking news. Anything yet? Anything? He's a Jet, Gator. He said he wants to play for the Jets. It's a formality. The deal's going to be worked out. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. You don't need to waterboard yourself anymore. It has happened. What? Wait.
I don't think I heard. Hold on a second. I had PTSD-AR.
What happened? Can you see the screen? This is what happened. Is it for real? This is for real. It has happened, Gator. It has happened. What? I'm gonna pass out. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator. One of the great bits in the history of this program, the great Gator. Yesterday, I retweeted the clip of Gator waterboarding himself on this very program because he couldn't handle the Rodgers news. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robert C. is on the line. Hey, Robert, did you brush your hair with a vacuum?
It just puffs up like they say.
Your hair looks amazing.
Yeah, we got the house remodeled. It's all different. The walls got painted. Whoa, living on a prayer. They asked me to sing Living on Prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Okay.
Bravo, Robert C. That was a tremendous call. Robert C. has called back in. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Jake. I'm decorating my house, and I haven't been able to call in a while. I just wanted to say hi because it's been too long, calling in. But the house, I'll show you my house.
Where's Tammy, Robert?
I don't know. Tammy, say hi. Yeah.
You want to sing more Bon Jovi for us?
I don't know. Yeah, halfway there. Sorry, I didn't write much material because I just threw this together.
Thank you for the call, Robert. Thank you very much. Robert C. called it twice. What a show. Gator, man. Try explaining the show to someone who doesn't watch the show. Kyle says the fact that Gator has so many wigs laying around his house is awesome.
25.
In the year of 25.
25.
Is he ever gonna stay alive?
25.